Personal SEO teaches position tracking in SEMrush with Sierra websites. And the example that you see right now is not a Sierra website, it's a WordPress website, but I just kind of wanted to give you a kind of good view of how this looks. I am not using Lee's account. These videos are mostly for Lee, but I want to make them general so that everyone can kind of follow them along. So if you're a Sierra client, like Andy Dane Carter, which is one of our clients as well, we do position tracking for them. And so I just want to go through how to set that up. So the very thing I do is Andy Dane Carter. Just go to the website. And I found it easier on WordPress websites and on Sierra websites to go down and then click on the HTML version of the sitemap. Instead of going to every single page and trying to find what the key phrases are, if you go directly to the sitemap, then you can pop in all of the key phrases. So here is his entire sitemap. He's fairly new. His site isn't large, so this kind of makes it a little bit easier. So, for example, if your site's larger, you would obviously do more things. Position tracking also has to deal with the account. So the account level that's being purchased from SEMrush. So there is a limit to how many keywords that you could position track. So I would always say go for the most key phrases possible. I just did this fairly recently, so all of the stats are relatively new. So you see the visibility is at 35%. The estimated traffic of all the key phrases that I typed in is not even one, and the average position of each one is about 44. Don't be disheartened. You will get the same exact results when you type everything in for the first time, but you kind of want to get the idea of where things are ranking, and then so you'll see top key phrases, positive impact, and negative impact. So if you view all 81 key phrases, you'll be able to see where they ranked last month into correlation to where they rank this month. Now, most of the blogs should rank fairly high since there isn't going to be huge competition for Long Beach local news with Andy Dane Carter. There's not going to be that much competition, so you should rank number one. When it gets down to the heavier stuff like areas, you will see Broadway corridor homes for sale. That page did not exist last month, and now he's ranking second for that. And that would be the long tail key phrases that we're kind of after and searching for micro communities. UDC Cambodia townhomes for sale. Again, new content last month, and that dropped one rank. So you can kind of see this bounce and move up and down through the site. An example of a site that moves rather frequently and of a new and of that moves up and down frequently because we've created all those micro communities fairly quickly would be Ellen Bruyer's site. Her visibility is extremely low, and that's based on the fact that we are looking at 336 key phrases. So again, the more key phrases that you look at, understand that your visibility is going to be, all of this information is going to be skewed by the fact of the number of key phrases that you have. But out of these key phrases, you could see huge jumps in ranking. So she went from 4, that's great. She's the only one ranking there. So you can kind of see that go on. She jumped 17 places. She's jumped 32 places. So in position tracking, this is kind of what you're looking for. There's actually somewhere she's jumped 100 places pretty much from last month to this month. And that's kind of really cool to me, that there is that. And then it's the same thing. So Monroe commercial real estate was completely lost. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for lost pages. I'm looking for, why did this drop 54 places? Usually this means, if it's something like that, that there is an issue with a redirect, and there was issues with redirect. So that has been fixed, and I kind of have to wait. You can rerun it if you want, but I would wait until it scans it again. And then you have all of these key phrases that haven't even been ranked yet. So as they come up, then you will kind of see. So as you see lost pages, and as I said before, there was an issue with a redirection, they should come back online. So you can kind of see what's moving and what's not moving. You can click on the difference button here and see what's going on, how it's jumping and how it's moving. So again, depending on the amount of key phrases that you have, you're going to see a lot of movement, especially when building out a site like we've built out. This site, you're going to see a lot of movement fairly quickly, and then you'll know what key phrases are you're going to have to fight for. So moving up one, and then what key phrases are really, really easy to be number one on those pages, just because you're having content or listings on the page. And literally that's all that's on these pages are just homes for sale. So that's a good example of what we're looking for in visibility. Obviously we want it to be more than 7%, but then again, when 90% of the key phrases are not found, you're going to have that hard issue. So don't worry about the percentage, don't worry about things, but just keep in mind of lost issues. You want to keep an eye on what those are doing, confirm that those pages are set up, and confirm that there's SEO on those pages so that you don't have a bunch of lost stuff. Again, we fixed this redirection, so this should be fixed in the future. So back to Andy. I made a few mistakes here when I did it. So I believe what I'm going, actually I didn't. I didn't know if I was adding the homes for sale in. So when you look at the site map here, and we can actually go to Lee's site. So when you scroll down and then click on his site map, actually it'd be better if I just used his account. So I will do that too. So then you're going to see all of the pages throughout the entire website. However, you can't just copy the items here because the key phrase of this page is not Calgary condominiums. More than likely it's Calgary condominiums for sale. It should not be homes for sale. It should just be Calgary condominiums for sale, or homes for sale in Calgary condominiums, or Calgary condominiums real estate. So on this page, to correctly SEO this page, take out the homes for sale. It's just condos for sale. It's not condominiums homes for sale, and that doesn't make sense. So this would be a page that I would tell you to fix. You just look at it by and going, oh, that's a page I need to fix. For example, once you're on this page, you could also just right click on any of these items and then grab the key phrase. So 205 Riverfront condos for sale. What you would do is you would click on your project, and I did sign in as Lee here. Click on the project, and then I just click on the project again, and then go to position tracking and then hit setup. You can choose between desktop and mobile. Technically you could do mobile, or you can just leave it as desktop. I'll just leave it as desktop. You can go back in and change this anytime that you want. And then I don't know the zip code by heart of where he's at. So it is, where is the zip? Is that the zip code? Canada, so weird. Okay, so so type in Canada. Okay, just fighting with me. Okay, so once you type in the location Canada, you can actually type in a zip code. You can also do the same thing with the Google Map Pack. So if you Google, and that was Bing, not Google. So when you Google Lee Yusuf, you see this over here, which is technically the map pack. So highlight the whole entire thing, and this will be done for you, so you don't have to do it, but it's just good to do on the other account. So then on this page, you will be able to see all of the key phrases, and these aren't that great keywords, so I'm just going to delete them and then start typing in or copying and pasting in the key phrases of the site. If you have this all on a spreadsheet, this would be a lot faster. But for example, I'm not going in Calgary real estate because, again, the key phrase should be just 205 Riverfront condos for sale. It's under the Calgary category, so you don't need to repeat where it is anymore. Google is smart enough to follow that line, that concept. So Riverfront condos, and it's front, that's misspelled. So that is something that you're going to have to look at. So you're literally going through the site with more of a fine-tooth comb than anyone else, and you're just copying and pasting and going through. This is great because you will fix a ton of issues on the site that nobody else will see. Like, there's an extra space there. Nobody else will see that because everyone's looking at the site too much, and you're actually trying to get the correct thing. So as you go through and see all these little small errors, this doesn't say condos for sale, it just says Allura. You can kind of fix all of these issues. The site auditor will not catch that. That's something that won't be catched because it just thinks that Allura condos is supposed to be there. So yeah, so as you go through, again, look at extra spacing, look at these things, because it'll just help you a lot, and for better optimization. There's 2 extra spaces there. So just go, you are going to go through the website with a fine-tooth comb just in adding key phrases, which is great. Okay, so I'm just going to add these to the project, and then they are listed there. You have an account limit of 10. Once Lee puts his credit card in, you'll have account limit of, I think it's 100,000. So add all of the pages through the key phrases just to make sure that they are working and showing up. So we just click on Start Tracking. Okay, again, it's going to go back to it's trying to force him to subscribe. So ignore that. So we're just getting data for the 5 key phrases. And so as it's doing that, now I'm going to, I've already gone through and shown you where it ranks, where it tracks, and all of that. So then that actually really helps with knowing where the site is. The last thing you could do is, while this is running, you can hit back and then go to reports. You can set up a report to do position tracking every single month, which is what I advise doing. And the reporting tool, you don't, in other words, you don't have to go into the website all the time. You could just get a PDF report emailed to you and Lee directly. So now that the position tracking is done, it's going to give you the visibility of 4%, average page position is 20, and then it's here are just the 5 key phrases that we added. And again, beginning of this month, this is where you are ranking now, and this is the visibility you have. So again, as this increases in ranking, the visibility percentage should increase. Again, as you add more, then then the visibility is going to drop as a whole. But then you'll see a lot more of what's going on. So this is position tracking in SEMrush, and how I tend to use it in Sierra, based on the fact that Sierra sites can get very large very quickly. I like the way they do things, but at some time it's really difficult to get all of the key phrases on the site. So you literally have to fine-tooth comb, do what I'm doing, go to every single page, and then adding the key phrases as you get them. You can do this in an Excel sheet. If you've been doing SEO through Excel from the very beginning, then you would have all of the key phrases laid out, and you're just checking off boxes on the pages, and then you're going from that point. So to add a keyword after the fact, you would just click Add Keywords, paste that keyword in there, and then hit Add Key Phrases. Other tricks that you can pull or do with this, ignore that. I'm trying to find my messenger. Here, I'll just load it up again. The other thing you can do is you can add competitors to this as well. So you can click Add a Domain, and then I'm going to, on the other screen that you can't see, find Lee's the list of domains that Lee wants to compete against, and then add them in. There. So just listed Calgary. Well, it's already, see, it's already right there. So if you add that, you can go to Edit Competitors List, and then you can see, sorry, that's right there. So you can just add him as a competitor. So we just click Add, add calgaryhomes.ca, and then I think there was just listed. And then add that as well. So those are the competitors, or whoever he wants to compete with, calgary.com. You can add as many competitors as you want and then hit update. So now what you're going to see is you're going to see the difference between where they are, where you are versus where they are. So if we go back to landscape and competitors discovery, so the average position of Richmond-condos is 81, best Calgary, and then here's Calgary CA. His positioning is high, and then you will see the difference between where they are ranking. And so what you want is you want to see your site raise up in these rankings. So you can just click. It's just really fun to click on stuff, and then you can see their key phrases versus where you rank versus where they rank. So if you look at the visibility, that's where your visibility is, and that's where his visibility is, and that's based on the amount of key phrases that they have. So this gives you a good overview of where you are ranking versus your competitors in average positions. So you can get a lot more information from this. However, I just lost my train of thought. However, just kind of take it as a grain of salt, because not everything they're doing is working for them. And then all of this information is going to change based on the fact of how long it takes SEMrush to gather more information. So this is position tracking, looking at where your competitor's visibility is versus your visibility, and at the same time of the keywords that you roughly share and where they rank for those same key phrases. It's confusing because this is actually your information and not their information. And you can't really click on it. So again, this is your information. You can, yeah, there you go. You can click there and then see their information for the same key phrase. So click on the dotted line, click on Lee Youssef, then you see where he is ranking for these key phrases. Then click on your competitor, and then you will see where they are ranking for those key phrases. Therefore, you literally can compete word for word of what they're doing. So add your competitors in wisely. Don't add like Zillow or Redfin or a large company. I know you want to compete with a large company at the very beginning, which is fine, but just kind of know that your site's new and their site's old, so they're going to be it's something for you to chase. But again, chasing the visibility is almost more important. So go ahead and add your key phrases. Add your competitors. I'm actually going to delete this competitor. Add the competitors that you want to add. Do that after you add all of the key phrases. And then again, have them get out of the 7-day trial so you can add 500 key phrases. This is Personal SEO teaches how to use position tracking and SEMrush for Sierra interactive websites, and how to see how your competitors are ranking and tracking their positions in SEMrush as well. Thank you very much.